Now, in case you've been living under a rock or you don't follow me on Instagram, then you already know I have a major obsession with this clown. But I have no idea why. Just a friendly reminder from your boy Animated Heroes, don't forget to check out my boys at Sculptimo Toys for the best figures, best prices, and fastest shipping if you guys haven't already. Let's get into it. What the heck is up, you guys? Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review for you. And as you can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the long-awaited, most anticipated figure release of January for me, the Pennywise. And man, I have been dying for this figure. I cannot lie. This is one that I just sat back and waited and waited and waited and waited for. And now that I finally have it in my hands, guys, you don't know how excited I am for this figure. There's some things that I like and there's some things that I dislike as well. Of course, I'm going to cover all that. Now, I know some of you are wondering, where's the packaging? I'm going to show that off. But of course, Mezco boxes are way too big for me to try to fit in my small workspace. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that real quick. And then we'll dive right into this figure itself. Now, for that sexy packaging, as you guys can see, there's not really much going on the front. We just have like a red background with what seems to be a shot of dairy in the back. Looks awesome. And of course, on the side, we've got little Georgie and Pennywise behind him. Would have been cool to get a prop of Georgie like this. And then lastly, here we do have the back as well, which is just the figure and all the poses you can get him in and some of the accessories. And for you guys who like to see what the figure looks like in the packaging, here that is for you as well. Now, in terms of the detail of this figure, I will say that Mezco killed it. They knocked this figure out of the park from head to toe in terms of how it looks. I really like how they sculpted the hair. The face looks very nice, as you guys can see. The paint is clean. I love how they shaded the forehead a bit. It's cool because like he's in the sewers all the time. And this guy's outfit is always clean. We all know he gets dirty. But even the way that they stitch the outfit together, like from all angles, this outfit comes straight out of the movie and looks sick. They've got the bells on him from head to toe, as you guys can see. The boots, those are a different story. I'll get into that in just a sec. But just in terms of looks, I gotta say, man, they knocked this figure out of the park. Now, once again, I do have some issues with this figure, and one of them you're about to find out right now. Now, putting him back to see how tall he stands, one of the first issues I have with this figure is that it does the same thing that the NECA version does, where it's the exact same leg. The left leg goes out because the foot will not allow him to stand with the way that they sculpted the feet on this figure. Like, it's very difficult to get this guy to stand up. And as I was showing him in the beginning of the video, he had the stand underneath him. And you guys know I never, ever use Mezco stands, but I couldn't get him to hold a position without it. So, and this right here took forever. But anyway, onto his height, I will say that this guy is very small compared to the others, as you guys already saw. But he stands a little bit under 6.5 inches compared to the others, which are 7 and above. And of course, he just fell again. I'm going to leave that in the video just for you guys to see. This guy is terrible at standing. Now, as far as the articulation goes, he can look up about that much, look down almost not at all. And it makes sense just because he's got all these wraps and fuzz and all that around his neck. So it's to be expected. His arm goes up about that much. And for the first time, I don't feel like I am stretching the fabric on a figure. I do feel like he has a butterfly joint in there. If so, it's not very effective at all. But he does have double jointed elbows. I know a lot of people hate when Mezco doesn't give them double jointed elbows. He does have that, thankfully. His hands are on the typical Mezco peg, so you can move them around pretty much however you want to. As far as a diaphragm joint, it feels like there's one in there, but it's like not effective at all. You get more out of the waist, but the only problem is with the way this is stitched, you don't want to turn him at the waist because it's going to feel like you're tearing it. So I don't recommend turning him at the waist. His foot goes out very far. This is something that I'm happy about right here. Not that he does any kick poses, but it's still cool. His foot goes back a bit, but I'm not going to pull it any further than that because once again, it feels like the material is stretching. He can do the splits, and as you guys can see right there, that's stitched together, so you don't want to make him do the splits at all. As far as his knees go, he does also have double jointed knees, and then this is where things get bad. His foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Ankle rocker is non-existent at all. So with a figure that's practically leaning to the left, you can't pose this guy very well if he's doing anything other than standing up straight. And then it's difficult for him to stand up straight because this left leg likes to lean out a bit. And one thing I did forget was the tilt at the head as well. You can move his head around very well. It just doesn't look down. So articulation, very, very, very limited. But I mean, for the most part, he's pretty stiff. So you'll be able to get him to do what you want him to, but it is limited. Now for accessories, this is exactly how he comes in the packaging. You do get his signature grin face, and of course you get a pair of just open palm hands. You also get a second pair of open palm hands, which are a little bit more stylish, like he's reaching to grab something. So I'm glad that they included those. You do get a hand for him to hold Georgie's boat, and then here's the boat itself. The SS is kind of faded out. I don't know if that's just mine, but you can't really see anything on it, and the boat looks very small compared to the others, but I mean, still cool that they included it. You do get a pair of werewolf type hands for when he was fighting the losers and he tore out his gloves, and if you look closely enough, you can see that there's like still parts of the gloves on his fingers, so it's cool that they did that. You do get a balloon holding hand, of course, and it comes on the balloon. Looks like you can take it off, but I'm not. And as you can see, the balloon does look a bit small compared to the one that came with the NECA, but it makes sense because this one is like so top heavy. The longer you have him holding it in his hand, it begins to bend. I don't feel like I'm going to have that issue with this, so I'm glad they included that. He also comes with an arm, and we saw this in the first one. He was eating some kid. We don't know who it belongs to. It would have been cool if they would have made the arm a little bit more tarnished, though, because it looks like he just ripped it off, which, I mean, of course, that probably did happen. But as you guys can see, there's, like, blood at the end of it. And, man, it looks crazy. It's just not as detailed as he is. You do get the most freakish accessory to me, which is this right here. And as you can see, like, it does change. It seems like it sticks more to the creepy face than the regular, but that is creepy as hell, man. This actually creeped me out during the movie, but the fact that they included this accessory is pretty cool. Now, as far as alternate expressions, you do get his "I'm about to munch down on you" face. You do get his "my food is getting away" face. And he looks super sinister in this. I do like this one. And then lastly, you get the creepiest out of all of them, the face that he made when he popped up on the movie screen. I'm very glad that they included this one. I really like how it looks. And most of my shots are probably going to have this one. And also one thing I do want to say, let me pull this other one back up. The teeth on these look very good. On the NECA, they look terrible. Like, they're atrocious. But these look very, very, very freaking great. So I'm glad that they did well on those. And of course, lastly, he does come with his stand, as you guys can see. That I have him on because he's terrible at standing up. Now for some size comparisons, here he is standing next to, and I'm going to leave this there for you guys to see. Now once again, here he is standing next to the McFarlane Toys Harry Potter and Ron Weasley, who I was looking forward to posing him with, but they both stand taller than him, so I'm really going to have to take these at some good angles for these shots to work. Next up, here he is standing next to the Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman and the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Superman in his classic outfit. And looking at Pennywise next to, I'm leaving that in there, but looking at Pennywise next to Batman, this dude's way, 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 way too small. Like, just look at the two of these. I don't know if I got spoiled by the NECA version because it's so tall, but Pennywise also looks very tall in the movie, so I would imagine that he towers over even adults. So just seeing like this right next to Batman, it looks very awkward, especially with how thin he is and all. It just doesn't seem like the scaling is correct. And then lastly, here he is standing next to two other figures that are taller than him, of course, and I'm leaving that in there. The NECA Pennywise and the SH Figure Arts Super Boo. This is becoming a pain in the ass real quickly. Alright, so my final thoughts on this figure are that it looks good. Paint, detail, accessories, all that is great. Posability sucks ass. I'm just going to be real with you guys. Like, you can't really get him to hold any kind of poses because, for one, there's no ankle pivot. The way that they even sculpted the feet, you can barely do anything other than getting him to stand straight up. And as you guys saw throughout the whole entire video, even that was difficult for me to do. Like, even right now, I've got this guy on the stand and it came off because I lifted him so fast. But I don't know, like, this review was very freaking annoying to do. You guys know how much I love Pennywise and how much I want to love a Pennywise figure. I don't hate this figure by any means. I think it looks great. I think they did really good in terms of how it's sculpted, the details, even the clothing. All of that's fine. I can overlook all of the issues in articulation except at the feet. That's where it bugs me the most. I have the same issue with the NECA versions, but the only difference is that the NECA versions actually, you can get them to stand and not have to worry about them falling every single time you move a figure beside it to show a size comparison. Like, it's an okay figure. Is it worth $100? Hell no. Shout out to my boy for getting this to me, though. I wanted this figure bad. I hate that I'm extremely disappointed with it. But of course, that's not your fault. Shout out to my boy Sculptimo Toys. If you guys haven't followed him, make sure to go do that. But in terms of this figure, I'll give it a 6. No, I'm going to give this bitch a 5. Excuse my language. I'm going to give this a 5, man. This is a 5 out of freaking 12. This figure's okay. Looks and everything great, once again. But other than that, I don't know. And it's too small. Like, the size is way too small. I just don't understand how they got Pennywise at this size, who is a giant killer clown, but Batman is like way more bulkier than him. And I'm probably getting frustrated just because of the issues that I was having with the figure. So I'm going to try to keep the biases out of here. The figure's all right. He's going to look really great in photos. As long as you can keep him positioned properly, he'll look fine, but you're going to have some frustrations with him. If it's not just mine, hopefully it is. I really hope you guys don't have these issues that I have. I'm still going to take some pictures of him. I'm still going to enjoy taking pictures of him. I just know that it's going to be a pain in some of the poses that I want to get out of him. I might just stick with the NECA for that. But anyway, that being said, that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry for all the being all over the place with the review, but thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I upload more content. Follow me on Instagram and everything you see listed in the description below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.